It's Leia. Welcome to this episode of Diaries of a Witchy Creative Life. In this video, we are doing our weekly reading, and this is the deck that we're using this time around. It's called the Elemental Wisdom Tarot. Look at this box. So gorgeous. I love everything about this deck. The way it feels, the vivid colors of the artwork. I will be linking it in the description if you're interested in it and want to make sure that the deck you're getting is not a fake. And it isn't an affiliate link. I just want to make sure that you go straight to the website of the company that makes this deck, which is Taroteca Studio. There are so many fake decks these days. Aside from the fact that we end up not supporting the actual makers of the deck if we get fakes. It seems from what I've seen that the quality is subpar. Many of them are much smaller in size, nor do they have the sturdy box that the original deck comes in. I don't have any of these in my possession, so I can't say for sure what the quality of the cardboard is and all that, but deck creators have been speaking up lately about this happening a lot right now. Anyhow, on to the reading. Hey everyone, and if you're new here, welcome. The readings on this channel are not predictive. Our focus here is on healing and self-awareness. We do shadow work. So when we turn the cards over, we won't be seeing what's going to be happening for us as a collective in the week ahead or anything like that. This is food for thought. I'll be asking you questions based on the card meanings, so you'll have a chance to do some reflection. Journal keepers may find inspiration for your journaling prompts in what we are about to do here. And we don't follow any sort of spread either. We're simply taking a look at the cards individually. So let's go. Card number 1 is the Queen of Wands. So do you see what I'm talking about with how vivid the colors are? Hello, Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is a social creature. She's outspoken, determined, courageous, inspiring. Does any of that stand out to you? If so, it might be time right now for you to develop those traits that call your attention. Maybe for some of you, you've been less social lately, and you've been wanting to get back out there. And for others, maybe there are some issues that you feel strongly about, but you've been holding back. There are ways to share your perspective or point of view without being mean to others if that's your concern. Let's say, just to give one example, on social media, you don't have to argue with the people whose perspectives you don't agree with. Instead, still social media-wise, you can create your own content and talk about the issues that are important to you without attacking anybody. Now for someone else, maybe there's a task or a project that you've been so excited to get into, but you don't quite believe in your ability to accomplish it. Well, how about giving it a try? And who's to say that you have to do it alone if you find it a little too intimidating? Now another aspect to the Queen of Wands is being in touch with and aware of your shadow self, and being okay with it, showing itself to others, meaning even if it comes out or peeks out. You're aware of its existence, so that's okay. That's something you can live with or come to terms with. For those of you who've never heard about the shadow self, that's basically the part of us that we keep hidden. And there are many reasons why we might do that. Sometimes there's shame surrounding that part of ourselves, or we think it's wrong that that part of ourselves exists in the first place. But yeah, shadow work is one of our focuses here on this channel. So being more at peace with that part of you is something that you do get to work on in a lot of the videos that we already have here. In relation to the Queen of Wands being a social creature, when you do shadow work, there is less of a chance that your shadow self will creep up on you out of nowhere, which for many might lead to embarrassment, because this is a part of you that you want to keep hidden. Clarification. The shadow, by the way, is not necessarily something that society views negatively. Maybe you do. But there are talents, for instance, that some of us keep in the shadows because they're not exactly something we're proud of, even if other people might consider these to be super awesome if they were the ones who had them. So maybe for some of you out there, this could be about exploring that. What gifts or abilities do you have that you keep out of sight because there's a stigma that you've attached to them? But if you look at them objectively, maybe they can help you achieve your goals or be more of the person that you want to be. For many of us, I would dare say that being a bitch is something that we don't own. We try to be, on the surface, as nice of a person as possible. But it may keep us from owning our power. It may keep us from speaking up. It may keep us more on the meek side. So there's something for you to think about right there. And just because you own your power doesn't even mean that you are a bitch. Maybe now that you're thinking about it, you can begin to find the right balance for you. Experiment with it when it comes to owning your power and realizing that you can be both powerful and kind. Moving on to our second card, we have the Two of Coins, otherwise known in other decks as the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Coins is about being able to juggle the responsibilities on your plate. So let's point out the obvious first. For some of you out there, this could be a great time to check on whether you're juggling too much before you get too overwhelmed. Because typically the Two of Coins isn't about doing too much. It's more about making sure that you are still able to handle what you got going on. While for others, maybe you can take a look at what you've been prioritizing. This could be an opportunity to reorganize your schedule and what you've deemed to be most worthy of your time, energy, and attention at the moment. Some of you out there might be asking, I don't have anything going on at all, what are you talking about? But really though, take a look at what you spend your time on these days, what you spend your energy on. Where do your waking moments go? If you've been doing a lot of mindless stuff, like whatever's going on in front of you, you just go with it. You don't consciously make a decision about what to do with your time. Then see if that's something that you want to change. I mean, if you don't, then okay, right? But sometimes we may find ourselves in this phase of, we have goals, but we're not getting anything done. And why is that? It could be that our priorities aren't in order. For some, it might mean that it's time to incorporate certain activities into your days. Maybe for some of you, doing art brings you so much joy, but for whatever reason, you've pushed it off to the side, so you haven't been doing art for a while. Someone else might have the goal of wanting to write a book or begin a new activity, and they have not gotten around to it, in which case, if this is something you would like to change, it's time to reprioritize. And now, here is our final card for the week. We have number 18 from the Major Arcana, the Moon. Just wow with this artwork. I love it. And again, the colors. Super vibrant and vivid. Okay, so, considering that the moon addresses uncertainty, illusions, and the subconscious, there could be a reminder here to think before you act, or to not act so brashly. And there are so many possible examples to illustrate that, but let's give one. For some, for example, once you get triggered, let's say someone says something that really makes you angry, you might be quick to lash out. But if you step back, take a look at the situation, it's possible that your interpretation of what was said to you is not at all what that person meant. Sometimes our brain interprets things a certain way because it reminds us of situations or people that have said or done something similar, and our mind immediately goes there. The moon is about what's hidden, so shadow work is very relevant to the moon in particular as well. which is interesting because there was a little bit of that related to the Queen of Wands. So looking beneath the surface is what's being pointed out here. It could be that it's time to take a look at certain strong reactions you have, because different people could react differently to the same statement. How come, for instance, just to illustrate the point, if someone says, "You look great," to one person, that doesn't mean anything other than you're being complimented. But to another, their mind could be racing upon hearing that. They could be thinking, are they being sarcastic? I don't think I look great, so are they just pretending to be nice, but they're actually sort of being snarky? And doing this sort of exploration falls on our shoulders. This isn't something that we put on the other person's shoulders. We examine why we react the way we do upon hearing certain things, especially if those certain things don't really mean anything to most other people. It could be that those are our personal triggers, which we could look into by doing personal awareness work on our own, shadow work obviously, as we've been talking about, or even therapy, because trauma would be covered by the moon as well. Deep hurts that have not been addressed yet. And since there are many levels to healing, even if we've already been doing this sort of work for a while, it helps to continue being open to it so that we can see and explore where the journey leads to next. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. If you enjoyed this, there are already many other videos on this channel that are similar to this, including how-to tarot videos that are very beginner friendly, also focused on personal awareness, healing, and shadow work. And I'll be back with so much more. So subscribe if you haven't yet, and get notifications for this channel as well, so you don't miss a thing. I'll be back soon. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Bye for now. So many more Diaries of a Witchy Creative Life coming soon.